Yeah, so this is a talk I did quite a while ago. Right, so here we go. So my advice is always choose something that you're interested in. So don't try and sell interior design if you're not interested in it, because people will just hate it, and you'll hate your life. It's like these people who sell Viagra and do all this online marketing for stuff like that. I'm like, you can't enjoy doing that, and if you don't enjoy it, it's not going to come out in your work, and you have to work double the amount. So for example, what does your company do? So let's pretend we're doing the young interior designs. What does your company do?
We sell interior design products.
Oh, products. Okay, great. And do you have like an idea that you want to make a success? Is this a real idea of yours? Or is it just something you'd like to do for an example?
It's something I like to do.
Okay,
in
cool.
the future.
Cool. And how would you personally measure the success of your company?
By the size of business and the revenue.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, for example, I really like seeing our students do really good websites. That's how I measure the success. Because we've got a small market, we're never going to be rich. But if my students are making really cool websites and doing well online, that's one of the ways we measure it. So, all right. So this is what we're going to talk about. First of all, we're going to know what you're doing. So it's how to analyze that. We're then going to analyze on your competitors, to look at how they're doing, what they're doing, and stuff like that. We're going to look at structuring an idea and how to iterate it into sort of growing bigger and bigger and bigger. Because what I find is a lot of people, they don't try and do everything all at once. They've never run a website before. They've never done online marketing. They don't know how much work it is. But they sort of like want to do a course and quickly go right into it. It's like, whoa, just wait a minute. Yeah. User testing to see if your idea is good. Measuring success. And then when I did the talk, we had a prize draw. And it was really cool, actually. I contacted a load of companies and said, I'm doing a talk for 50 business owners. Would you like to give something for free? And we got a load of prizes, which was really nice. And then I've got questions at the end. So, features and benefits. So, whenever you're thinking about your idea, you've got to come up with, sort of like the key features and benefits of what you're doing. All right. So if you want to be successful online, think about what you're doing and then how it can benefit people. But when you're marketing it, only concentrate on the benefits, not the features, like I used to do. I was like, we're going to teach jQuery, da-da-da-da-da. Well, the benefit was you can make websites after you make this course, after you do this course. All right. So when you're planning, you don't have to necessarily plan to do your website. You can do anything. You could do just Facebook. There's people who do modeling agencies, for example, only on Facebook. So you don't necessarily have to have a presence that's purely through a website. Learn some more things, a few surprising new things. So I'm hoping that when you're doing these courses and stuff like that, you're going to learn some sort of new stuff. And I've got some surprising links in here as well that will teach you a couple of different things. So for example, the new Google was an accident. It meant to me goggle, which is the word for 100 noughts.
Okay.
Yeah, so stuff like that. That's originally Mr. Larry and Page. These are the prizes we gave out. Feedback Army. Feedback Army, you get to ask 10 questions and you get 6 answers. Sorry, forgive me. You ask 6 questions from 10 people, and you can ask things like, if you were going to buy an interior design product, what would you want to buy? Or you can ask them, do you like this button? If not, how do you make it better? Poll Daddy is a really great way of doing on what's it called? Market research. Yeah, market research. So choose from the list of 5 products which would you most like to buy. Flare Builder is a system for doing wireframes. Do you remember wireframes from the beginner's course? Yes. And then we also gave out a course for doing Illustrator. All right. Okay, so the idea is I really want to kind of bring ideas to your life. And when I did the presentation, that was the idea of it, is to sort of bring life to it. So what we did is we used this system here, all right, really, really cool system that you can actually use to get people to text in. Alright, they can actually text in answers. So you can, do a TV program or something or whatever. Alright, and they can literally text in which one they like, the red lamp, the blue lamp, or the green lamp. So we did the things like that. So what I did is I had a list of ideas to be successful online with, and they got to choose it. Yeah, it's a good little system, that, actually. Right, cool. So let's have a look at it. So first of all is know what you're doing. So the idea with knowing what you're doing is not only just to do with the website that you're creating, but the business behind it. So for example, when we started doing Web Courses Bangkok, we didn't do web design. We taught you how to do it. Now, as the company's now increased and got bigger, then we've changed that. But at the very, very beginning, all we did was teach. So I said no to all these products. So like to follow without halt, one aim. That's the secret of success. So our thing was to teach web design. Right. One way to find out what you're doing is a SWOT analysis. Have you ever done SWOT? Yeah, great. So it's a strange way. Like, for example, one of the threats for one of the weaknesses for Web Courses Bangkok is that we don't speak Thai. And that's also an opportunity. So the fact that we don't do it yet is definitely an opportunity. Threats for us is, maybe it'll be difficult for me to keep a work permit here, or maybe it'll be difficult for me to find good teachers, or maybe I don't know. There's another company that does web design that starts teaching it, and there's things like that. But it's very, very important to do a SWOT analysis. Very useful. So the strengths and things like that for your website can be maybe you make something simple. So for example, it could be some complicated idea. So one website that we worked on it's this way of finding out if someone is in the army or not. If they are in the army in the US, they can't be sued or for certain specific things. Alright, so you have to first find out if someone is in the army, and if they are, you can't sue them. So it's stuff like that. Now this website made that very simple. Before it was a very arduous process, but now it's very simple. So for example, buying interior design products, you might want to make it easier. That's one of your strengths by saying what type of kind of house are you looking for. Are you looking for Gothic? Are you looking for New Age? Are you looking for modern, simplistic, minimalistic, whatever? And get them to buy through that. Maybe that's one of the strengths, is that you're selling in a different way. One of the weaknesses might be people on Thailand don't like online marketing. Don't like e-commerce. And that is a definite weakness, but it's maybe not one of your weaknesses, but also of your environment. Because in Thailand, people don't generally buy online. They sort of go or they do like bank transfer or whatever. So one of the weaknesses is the fact that the infrastructure of the country and the people and the mentality is a weakness for selling online. Now, one of the threats could be, especially in Thailand, might be in raising tax. It might be tax issues. You might have import tax, quality of the products, your suppliers, how do you post things, all these type of things you need to write down. And then obviously you've got the opportunities. You've got opportunities to make it better than the competition, easier, better designed, things like that. So now choosing a domain name. So how do you choose a domain name? My advice is short. Now, one of the reasons I say short is because it's easier to type. When you're a web design owner, you'll type your website so many times. Yeah. Also, it's easier to tell people on the phone. So yes, Web Courses Bangkok, learn web design on Thailand, the best place in the world.com _ and then like that. So it's not so great. So it's best idea to keep it short. All right. Okay, another one is catchy and memorable. So if you're selling kimchi, it might be kimchifridges.com. Dead easy. Or like there's a recent website we're working with. Is called Coupon. It's a Korean guy who owns it, and it's QUOPON. Oh, sorry, no, QPON. Okay. Yeah, Coupon. All right, so that's pretty catchy and memorable. Easy to pronounce because you might be selling people over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Easy to spell, again, over the phone, and not too similar to competition because you don't want people clicking on the 2 links and thinking it's you and it's a competition. And not a violation of someone else's trademark because you just don't want to do that. You don't want to start doing cokeisshit.com because you might get into trouble. So just keep it dissimilar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Right. So this is the idea of iteration. So first of all, it's a good idea to get a good a good brand name. All right. So start off with your brand name. For example, and don't be too spammy. So when you are doing your brand, don't do things like qualityinteriordesignproducts.com. It just sounds spammy and cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
Make it succinct, make it easy. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
See you later. All right, so when you're choosing your brand name, keep it catchy and small and interesting. That's one way to be successful.
Okay.
Don't forget that this presentation is all about being successful online. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Another one is get a logo, because a logo is a really good idea to, technically speaking, which I'll tell you in a minute, but also for people to see it and know it's you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of people just do with a name. I really advise you to get a logo. Another thing is with logos, you can use a favicon. The thing that appears on the tabs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can use it for that. Comment posting, when you do comment posting, you can use a gravatar. There's loads of places that your logo will turn up. Yeah. Good color scheme. All right. Now I'm actually terrible at colors, but get a good color scheme because again, it just brings brand awareness.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are doing your logo and your text and stuff, get a really really good color, just because everyone knows we're green. All right, web courses is green.
Mm-hmm.
They see green, somewhere in their brain they'll go, oh, web courses. I even saw a girl walk past with one of our folders, an ex-student, and I could see it from miles away. It was the opposite side of the BTS,
Mm-hmm.
and I could see it because it was our green. And everybody knows the Facebook, the Facebook blue.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Another one is have a good message. Okay, so for us it's friendly quality courses. Yeah, and that's the brand message that we're always trying to bring across. So we teach an international standard of web design. We're also more consultants than teachers, some of the time. We don't just say, okay, Young, I want you to do this, 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 and this. We also explain why, and that's our message. What would your message be?
For my interior business,
Mm-hmm.
Selling unique and exotic design products to
Mm-hmm.
Korean market.
Right.
Yeah.
From Thailand.
From Thailand.
Cool. So that can be your message, and that's what so it might be unique and exotic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And young interiors, unique and exotic.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. It's got a good message. Yeah. Because the thing is, if you start trying to do too many things at once, it does get really confusing. So when you're starting off, do a SWOT analysis to find out all your strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities. When you get a good domain name, also map that to your branding, make it nice and easy, quick, and also get to know your competition because which we're going to do in a minute. Find out what they're doing. So you might have another guy who's doing exactly the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I had that recently. I had a big idea that I wanted to do, and then I found out someone did it almost exactly. So I didn't do it.
Okay.
I put my resources into something else.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you can see it as an opportunity and say, well, no, I can do it better. But I thought, well, it's only a small idea. It's not the main idea of the company.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do something else.
Okay.
And make yourself get a good brand.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe getting a good branding. I mean, for example, the coupon guys, their website's nice. I mean, we're developing it. But their branding is really good. They're constantly working on this brand of coupon and how it's different from Groupon and different from Ensogo and stuff like that. So it's an interesting thing of really pushing that brand and people recognize you.
Are they based in Thailand?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So it's interesting with analyzing and finding out what you're doing, but definitely keep things simple. So it's one of the ways when you're analyzing stuff, keep everything simple. Don't try and do too much. If you are doing interior designs, don't start doing park benches and garden furniture.
Mm.
Keep to your interior. Because then people know what your web course is. Banco, they teach web design. Yes. But we also teach photography, but people don't know us for that. They know us for the web design. Yeah? So we just try and keep things simple. I mean, you can branch out when you get bigger, stuff like that. First of all, when you're doing your site, is like you did in the beginner's course, is knowing what it needs to do. So does it provide information? Does it sell? Does it inform? Does it help? Does it, I don't know, take bookings? And does it primary focus? Is it to take, say you're a consultant. Yeah, do you want people to book you for 14 hours or whatever? Yeah. So what does a site need to do? It doesn't necessarily need Twitter if you're a consultant. That might be an addition thing, but it definitely needs a contact form, or your phone number, or your Skype address, or whatever. So keep it simple when you're doing that. So one thing that we did is we give clear contact details. It's very, very easy to get hold of. What we did here is we highlighted our successful trainees because we wanted people to kind of go, oh, that's like me. I'm a Thai girl. She's a Thai girl. I'm a Thai girl. I can do this course as well. Yeah. Or maybe you see someone who looks like an interior designer. I don't know how they look, but oh great, he did a course. Oh, that's nice. Maybe I can do that then. Make sure when you're doing your website, everything's quick and easy to find. So, for example, your categories for your interior design, make sure they're very, very clear. Yeah. And also down here, we're just sort of giving extra information about what we've been doing and tweets and stuff. Now, very, very important is knowing what your users want. So, if you are an interior design, who are your users? Who's coming? Who do you want to sell to?
Interior designers.
You want to sell to interior designers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because I supply.
Okay, great.
Decorative items,
Right.
and
So that's brilliant. So what people want, interior designers, what they'll want is like you said, unique products that they can use and feel special, that they're bringing something special to their clients. And that's the message as well. Back to the message with your brand, bring something special to your clients, something that nobody else has. Cater for the unique client. All these different ways of really speaking to people their language. So, for example, this lady here, she just wants directions to her office. So make sure that's nice and easy. This guy here, right? She just wants to know what new products you have. She's a busy mum. She doesn't care about all the other, special offers and things like that right now. She just wants to see what new products you've got. Maybe she knows your shop already. Especially that would be a good one for you, because if you're going to get interior designers, they're going to still be interior designers, which means they're going to want more products for the next client. So new products for you is very vital. And also people, things like if you are buying online, they want to know if it's safe. So using things like PayPal helps things look more secure, because people know PayPal.
Yes.
Right. So one of the ways that we can do now is we can actually find more information about what you're doing, what your competitors are doing. So here's you've got good old Twitter. So you can look and search for your competitors. Yeah. On Poll Daddy here, you can actually use that to say, send it to all your friends or your Facebook things and ask them, okay, oh Bob, you're an interior designer. What do you want? Do you want lamps? Do you want placements? Do you want cups? Do you want what kind of products are you most interested in? Yeah. Next one is LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is a good one. So you can start connecting with other people who, connect with a lot of interior designers. Look for the groups that are interior designers and start connecting to them. Same with Facebook. You've got groups. Go on the groups and start talking to them and saying, which products are you most interested in? What kind of clients do you have? Asking them all these important questions so you can choose your products better. The next one, ask your friends. Have they got ideas? What do they want to do? Who do they want to, so get in touch with them as well. Cool. Now, another thing that I really like to do is something with like card sorting. Now, what card sorting is getting all the important things that you think are important and getting other people to order them.
Sorry, what do you mean?
So, you say, let's say, trusted credit card details, so it's safe, easy navigation, good design, nice pictures, and easy checkout. So you've got these important things apart, parts of your website, and then get your potential clients or friends or whatever to order them for you, to put them in order. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Or I might say things like, do you want, which of these courses are you most interested in? Web design, Photoshop, graphic design, and you can see what people like by the order they put them in. Yeah. Or maybe you have a process, a sales process or whatever. You can actually ask them about this information and get them to do card sorting. All right. Now another thing is looking at your looking at your site metrics, and you can find out where all your customers are coming from. So this is another way of analyzing where to sell to. So you might find that for some reason California loves your products, so sell to California then. So you can actually start looking at metrics and stuff like that. So that's some tools to find out more about what to do how to be successful. So, summary. First of all, decide what the site needs to do. The most important thing. It doesn't need to get people to sign up to the newsletter, but it does need to be able to people to buy stuff. Online surveys. Find out what people like, what they don't like. Yeah, send them off to people. Put them on Facebook. Put them on Twitter. Offer a prize for doing the survey. Ask your friends. See what they think. Give their opinion. Get them to do card sorting exercises for you. Get them to show you their website. Get them to even use your website, but that's a little bit later. Card sorting exercise to find out the importance of things. And lastly, have a look at keyword insights, which is like, what are people searching for? Right? You can use something called Google Trends. And you might find that a lot of people, just because of a TV show, are looking at cheap alternatives to interior design. Yeah. Cool. So, number 3, structure. The loftier the building, the deeper the foundation they need to be. So, in other words, the bigger the website you're making, the more planning it needs. It's absolutely vital. So, if we look at this, so first of all is look at the site areas. Just start off dead simple. Right, products. What are the product categories? Okay, good. Other documents, things like privacy policy, shipping, terms and conditions. Blog. Great, I've got 3 site areas. Right. Then you can split those up into detailed sitemap, and that's where you can do things like this. Or you can use something like bubble.us and make a detailed sitemap of every single page. Yeah. Here's the categories that I'm going to use. This is leads onto the privacy policy. This leads onto the terms and conditions. From the checkout page, you can go to privacy conditions. You can do all this type of stuff, but essentially planning out every page. And that's a great thing for you when you're designing the website, because you can tick it off. Yeah. So next one is what is on the page, and this is where wireframes come on. So you can start with successful scenarios of like, so when they come onto the page, right, I want them to select the product, select the color, select the size, and then check out. So that's a successful scenario. So you start kind of going, which one, because you don't want people doing this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because by the time you say, look, I said, oh, sorry, they've left your website.
Yes.
So, user arrives at site. User views the latest products. Reads the buyer's reviews. Then you've got 2 choices. Contacts you regarding the product. Do you have it in green? Adds products to basket and purchase your product. So you can get these user flows. Okay. Cool. Interaction. So there are 3 purposes to a piece of design. Yes, now, and wow. Wow is the one to aim for. Yeah. Great. So, when you're designing for interaction, it essentially means what people are going to click, see, touch, play with, move, install, whatever. So you can do this using a wireframe. One of the best ones to do is, this is what the picture of the cup for is just get a nice, a nice cup of coffee, pen and paper. You get this, and then you can turn it into this. So it's interesting how that becomes that design. And then later it becomes the HTML, etc., etc. Yeah. So here's two websites. Go Mockingbird is a very good one, and we gave away a full license to Flare Builder as well. Flare Builder allows you to do interaction. Mockingbird is just sort of like hand drawn, but with Flare Builder you can actually click and stuff happens. So you can sort of like pretend what if someone's logging in or whatever. 5. User testing. So 5-second test, great little website. All you do is you have like a picture on the screen, and it'll ask you you'll show it for 5 seconds, and then it'll ask you show 3 things that you remember. So if I showed you, say, this website, what do you remember?
The logo, layout, and blue color, like blue color.
Okay, cool. So those are the striking things for you, but maybe they really wanted you to notice the login button, or maybe they really want you to notice this, so they'll make it bigger. So that user test that we just did is a way, to finding more information about people. Let's have a see. Another one is Feedback Army. I love this website. So you get to ask 6 questions. So Feedback Army. And go to samples. And good old Web Courses Bangkok, the old version. So I asked, what is the homepage missing? How would you improve it? Now, unfortunately, we got all good feedback, which wasn't very useful. So, for example, I found that the homepage is fully equipped with enough knowledge and attraction to allow visitors to stay on the website even more. That didn't really help me. Oh, the homepage is missing out on a search option. Yeah. How would you improve? Oh, yeah. This is a second set of questions. The only thing that I would like, is a little bit awkward to top banner and page background color. Yeah. Okay. So things like that.
Is it a paid site?
Yeah, $15.
Okay.
Cheap. It's very, very good.
And who are these people leaving all these comments?
It's from a thing called Mechanical Turk, and it's just like a whole list of people in America that are joining this kind of like online army of people who do stuff. It's called Mechanical Turk.
Okay.
Alright.
Weird.
Yeah. They don't get out too much. User flight, wonderful, right? You get to actually record the screen of the users. So when they come to your website, you can record the screen. So when you finish making your website, then you can have a look if they like it or not. Or maybe they missed the buy now button, or missed the register, or the offers, or whatever. Or you can actually do a user test, which means actually sitting with someone, looking at how they use the website, stuff like that. 6, marketing. Right message to the right people at the right time. Carl Heaton. That's an old picture of me, so do forgive me that.
They still look alike.
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, this is what I've always said to everybody: is the right message to the right people, because I find that a lot of people market to everybody. It's like, don't bother. It's like me. I know that if I don't market to people in Bangkok, there's not much point, because we're a Bangkok school here. When we do our online courses, which we're just starting now, okay, I'll broaden the spectrum. But I don't want to market to web designers, because they already know web design. So you can sort of like get smaller and smaller. And what I mean by the right time is, don't do it over and over again. Maybe you've built up, oh yeah, it's great to know you, oh, it's very nice. Oh, by the way, I'm a web design teacher. And you can do that at the right time. I find when you do these networking events and things, people will just instantaneously tell you what they do. Hello, I sell toilets. Great. That's the end of that conversation then, isn't it? Can't I get to know you first?
Not interested.
Yeah, exactly. Content. Content is king. Alright? So without good content, people will leave your website, they won't come back. And content can be a number of media. It can be pictures, it can be video, it can be a game, it can be whatever it is. But it just has to be good content. Yeah? Very, very important. Now, once you've made your site, submit it to all the major search engines, and then like I said before, you've got the webmaster tools for Google. So you create your sitemap and then submit it to Google Webmaster Tools. Bing as well, and obviously Yahoo. But Yahoo and Bing have sort of joined forces now, so it's only really worth submitting to Bing. Alright, because the Yahoo Explorer is now part of Bing anyway. And then you've also got directories, so you've got things like Contact Bangkok, yellow.co.th. Now you can see here, these are very Thailand specific ones. Whenever you're doing it yourself, make sure that what you're submitting to is relevant to you, so it might be .co.th or whatever.
Who is the one owning Thai Visa? I found it very useful.
Yeah, it's great. It's one of the biggest websites. Yeah, we'd advertised with them, but we didn't do so well on it. Nobody really clicked. Now, social networks. You got a lot of choices. What's the Korean one? The Korean social network. SciWorld. Wow, sounds good. So you've got a lot of different. I mean, even SlideShare as well. You can get loads of people following you on your slides. Good old YouTube. So you know this presentation I'm doing now. I'll post it on YouTube, which helps you connect to people. But it's important to be real. Don't pretend to be an art. If you're young, be young. Don't be like the interior designer version of yourself.
Okay.
You know, it's hard as well. It's hard to keep up that persona. Be real. Don't sell to people. You know, just connect with them. And a person is much more inclined to buy something from you if they ask about it. You know, if you keep saying, by the way, I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this, you're just going to annoy them. And you wouldn't do that in real life, would you? You know, pleased to meet you. By the way, alright, okay. Alright. Now you've also got a load of social bookmarking sites. So when you are marketing, you've got things like Technorati, Delicious, StumbleUpon, Dig, Newsvine. I don't know these two. This is Reddit. I'm not sure of this one. I'm sure someone will tell me somewhere. Anyway, so when you create new content, is submit all your content out to these people. Alright, cool. Next one is articles and blogging. So when you're writing articles, okay, the pen is mightier than the feather. So sorry, the feather is mightier than the sword. So keep writing and keep writing good stuff. Even if you're just bored or something, just write a little blog post and submit it to WordPress.com or update your status on Facebook or something, but sort of keep it relevant to what you do. You know, for example, I might say, oh, today I got to teach my how to be successful online presentation. Here it is. So just keep writing and talking about stuff. So blogging is really good, but again, it's a case of being real, and people won't come back to your blog unless it is real. You know, do you read any blogs? No. Okay, but do you? Well, if you were, maybe if you started doing your, maybe you would start following an interior design blog because you wanted to know the trends. So then you've got the most up-to-date products. All right. Well, the question to blog is yes, but again, only blog if you've got something to say. If you only blog once a week, that's fine. Once a month, that's fine. But only blog when you've got something real to say. If you start putting out tripe, it's just pointless. And you'll turn people off. They'll go, oh, see your name again, and go, I'm not going there. Next one, take part in the community. Oh, seem to be skipping there. So taking part in the community is like commenting and talking to people and stuff like that. So if anybody's like doing anything, get them to interact with you. It's a very good way of getting people to come to your website. And also, if you start maybe popping up and time again on this interior design blog, people will see your name and go, all right, I'm going to check out his products. Have you thought about doing this? Have you thought about doing that? So, remember, content is king. Once you make your content, submit it to Google. Be real on social networks and always be very choosy who you engage with. Don't engage with everybody. So, for example, if he's a web designer, I might engage with him with respects to being another web designer. I'm not going to engage with him trying to get him to do a web design course. Another one is taking part in the community. So also taking part in the community teaches you what you're doing, what's happening in the community. Lastly, measuring success. So it might be any one of these lists here that is how you measure success. So it might not necessarily be a cha-ching, but for like I said, for me, it's someone sending me a link to a website they've built. That makes me really, really proud. So I'll show you an example. So an example of a success thing for me is, say, something like this. So this is a handmade custom site, you know, and I thought it was really, really nice how they did it. You know, it's about teaching butlers. Click on training. Alright, lots of videos. So it's a really nice site, and to say that they were beginners is pretty damn good. Yeah? Or maybe a profile from one of our intermediate students. So he's now, I've actually hired him as a web designer. Yeah. So he's got these posters, and he's also working for the UN now. Alright.
Okay. So he designed it?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
So him sending me that makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, makes me happy in the pants. Right. Oh, there we go. So for example, it might be commenting. So commenting helps you to grow, helps you get higher in Google as well. If people are interacting with your website, Google knows that. And the more people, the higher you go in Google, the more people come to your website. And if you're selling advertising,
Mm-hmm.
that's a great thing. So that could be your method of measuring success.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're doing the measuring of success, is make sure you keep an eye on it. So this month we had 10 bookings. Next month we had 12 bookings. The next month we had 5 bookings.
Mm-hmm.
What was the problem? Yeah. All right. So track sales conversions allows you to, to see if it's working. And you can actually track that using analytics. So measure your site engagement goals against threshold levels that you define. So for example, if you're playing on Facebook and you want to know if it's working and actually generating sales, you can do that using analytics. Alright. So Google Analytics. So when you're doing the analysis, is know clearly your goals. So for example, it might be registering for a newsletter or whatever. Know how to measure the goals. So for you, it might be a contact form, so you can keep an eye on that. Use analytic tools like Google Analytics to see if you've got your, what's working, and then keep an eye on them. Keep an eye on it. There you go. Any questions?
No question.
So do you think you could make a successful online business now?
Getting there.
Cool.